So today I'm going to be doing a video that has been quite highly requested by a lot of subscribers. So I'll just get straight to it. It's about dating in Korea and Korean men. So as most of you know, I'm in a relationship, so it's quite hard when everyone's like asked me to give some kind of advice on it and I don't really know too much about it. I can give you some kind of gauge on my experiences and what I have seen from Korean men and just dating in Korea in general. I start with like my first kind of experience of being possibly picked up, you could say. Yeah, I think this guy kind of tried to pick me up. Okay, so one day I went on my own to the cinema, the first time in Korea. It was to watch The Vow, I think. And I really wanted to watch it, no one was free, so I was like, I'm just gonna go on my own. And you know, Channing Tatum is in there, so of course I'm gonna go. So yeah, I went there, and then after the film finished, which it was great by the way, after the film finished, I went to H&M and I just went to go and look around and buy some clothes. So I searched and I found this really nice dress and some accessories. While I was like getting things, like there was like this guy like looking at me and then I went to the till and he was at the till, so he worked there. He was at the till and I was just like giving him my stuff and he was like, I don't even know what he said, I can't remember, it was a while ago, it was like a few months ago now, but he said something like, where are you from? And then I was like, I always say this, sometimes I say it depends on how people ask, but I'm like, what do you mean, originally, or like where I was born? And he was like, where was you born? Like, I mean, originally. I was like, oh, my parents are from Nigeria. And he was like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, I lived in Ghana for a while. I was like, come again? Bear in mind, this guy is Korean, yeah. He is Korean. And I was like, you lived in Ghana? And then he was like, yeah, my dad was doing business, so I moved there for a year and I stayed there. And he's like, yeah, he's like, so you can speak Ghanaian and stuff. And I was like, no way you speak Twi, that's just weird. I was like, this is something that never happens, let's put it that way. And I was just like, he's like, can you speak Twi? And I was like, no, I can't, but I have friends that can. And it's so funny. And he was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, oh, what are you doing in Korea? And I was like, oh, I'm a teacher here. And he was like, ah, and he's like, yeah, he works here, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So we were just talking and, you know, I didn't buy that much. So like, it was over in seconds. So I was just like, I was like, I have a friend who's from Ghana and, you know, she might really like to meet you because, you know, this is a weird thing that you're Korean, you're like, lived in Ghana, speak Twi, so strange, so unique. And he was like, ah, and I was like, do you have Facebook? And he's like, I do something or another. Anyhow, so I was kind of trying to pick him up from my friend, which is weird because I said he tried to pick me up, right? But I'll get to that part. So anyways, a customer was behind and he was like, oh, there's a customer behind, I'm so sorry. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll see you around another time. So then I left and I went home, and by some chance or another, 2 weeks later, I was watching a film alone again. This sounds like a really sad and lonely life, doesn't it? I just live really close to the cinema and there are films I want to watch and people are usually busy on the days that I want to watch them because I usually want to watch them on the day they come out because I really like the film. And so I went on my own. I think it was Hunger Games. Was it? Yeah, it might have been Hunger Games. It came out and I went on my own and I watched it. And I loved it. And I was like, that's so sad. But anyway, let's move on. So I went back to H&M because I needed something to wear the next day because I was going to Gangnam to go party. But yeah. So I was in H&M and I picked up some dresses and I went to go and try them on, and I'd almost completely forgotten about this guy from last time, he speaks Ghanaian. I went into the changing room and I saw him there and I was like, this is this guy again, oh, what do I do? I'm just gonna ignore him. So I just pretended I didn't know who he was and then I gave him my stuff. He was like, oh, can you wait please? And I was like, okay. So I sat down and then there were a bunch of other people in the changing room and stuff, so it was full. So I had to wait and I sat there, I got my phone out and I started like texting my friend and I was like, that guy's here again. And I was like trying to avert eye contact with him because I didn't really want, I don't know, I was being dumb. And then finally a thing came through. He was turning to come speak to me and then just as he did that, someone came out of the changing room and then I was like, oh, changing room. And I was like, I walked into the changing room, it's so funny. I walked into the changing room, I was in there for like 10 minutes and then I came out and he wasn't inside, no one was in. So I walked onto the shop floor with all my stuff, because they don't really care in the changing rooms, they kind of just let you come and go as you please. So I walked to my stuff and I put down the ones I didn't want, and I kept the one I wanted, and then I was walking to put another piece down, and he was like standing there staring at me, and he was like, he came up to me, he was like, have we met before? And I was like, huh? I don't know, have we? And he was like, a couple of weeks ago, like a week ago, you were here? And I was like, oh, I was here. Ah, the guy from Ghana. Like I didn't know who you are. And he was like, yeah, you remember me? I was like, yeah, I do. And then he was like, oh, last time I wanted to speak to you, but we were busy, so many customers behind, I didn't want to get in trouble. I was like, oh, that's fine. And then he was like, oh, why are you here? Like, why are you here again? I was like, oh, I just came to watch a film, so I just came to do some shopping because I'm going out tomorrow. And then he was like, okay. And then he was like, oh, so I didn't get to give you my number. And I was like, really? Did I ask for it? And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, can you wait here 1 minute? And then he went, and then he wrote down his number on a piece of like receipt sheet or something, and he brought it back. And I was like, what's your name? He's like, oh, Minsu. And I was like, what's my name? He's like, what's my name? And he's like, what's your name? I was like, Abby. And he's like, oh, nice to meet you. We shook hands. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go pay for myself now. He's like, okay. He's like, call me. I was like, I will. He's like, okay. I was like, I'll text you soon. And then yeah, I went home. I left the place, and I was like, interesting. Then I went home and I didn't text him. I forgot. And then the next day I sent him a text, and he was like, you didn't text me. I was like, I'm texting you now, sorry, I was busy, I completely forgot. But yeah, then we started talking for a while, but it seemed like it kind of was like, we talked for like some weeks, but it just seemed like he kind of wanted something, and I just, obviously I'm in a relationship already, and I'm not gonna, yeah. So I was just like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, and if you want more than friendship, then that can't really happen, sorry. And he was like, no, it's okay, I just want to be friends. But then he never ever cackled me ever again, and I never cackled him or texted him. So yeah, that kind of fizzled. So yeah, there's a possibility you might meet someone who's randomly like lived in some African country and is completely drawn to you because you are African, and he may come and pick you up. You never know. But yeah, that's rare. But I don't know, sometimes I feel like Korean guys are a bit shy. This is one thing I've learned about Korean guys, that they're quite shy. People are quite self-conscious about speaking another language, and I think guys will come up to you if they've got the confidence, usually in clubs when they've been drinking, and they'll come up to you and they'll dance with you, or they'll talk to you, or they'll say they want you to talk to them or something like that. It's happened in the club to me before, but I really kind of ignore those kind of people because usually they're drunk. Number two, I have a boyfriend, and I'm just like. But the problem with me is that, well, it's not a problem, but the thing I do, I notice about myself, is that I give off this aura, like this don't come near me aura, I think, and I'm sure I do. And and guys generally don't approach me because I always have like this face on, like, don't approach me. Even though I'm a really smiley person when I'm speaking to people and I'm around my friends, but like when I'm like, I don't know, when someone's like staring at me, I just start going really closed and hostile because I don't really want guys to come and chat to me. I don't know, it sounds weird. I want to make friends, but I don't want guys to chat me up because I have a boyfriend and I don't really want to get into any kind of situation with some other guy. I just want a guy to talk to me because he wants to be friends with me, not because he wants to date me. But guys will approach you if you look really happy and friendly, and I don't know, so it's weird. I met this guy at Itaewon in a Wolfhound the other day on Thursday, and yeah, he's like, I don't know, he traveled around and he likes to travel the world, and he was just asking me where I'm from, and he works at the Wolfhound, and he was just asking me where I'm from, and he was like, oh, I've been to London as well, I went to go and see my friend, and I don't know, we just had this long conversation. I just kept going back for water, like, can I have some water, what don't you say? Such a lame excuse. But yeah, and then we're just talking. I really want to meet Korean friends. I want to make Korean friends, yeah. And I find it hard to make Korean guy friends. It's hard to make Korean girlfriends too because you just don't come into circumstances where you should meet them. That's why it's so difficult. But to meet guy friends is probably an easier thing, but I don't know, it's like difficult to just set those boundaries. You can't just go, sorry, I can't talk to you, I have a boyfriend. It just kind of sounds weird, and you don't know that's why they're coming up to you. So there's no need to get like big-headed and think they're trying to chat you up when they're really not. They just want to be a friend because they want to travel and you travel, so woo! you guys are like meant to be friends. But yeah, dating foreigners here is easier than dating Koreans, let's put it that way. It's hard to meet Koreans and it's hard to get talking to them. But foreigners, it's a bit easier because, you know, you have common ground. You're both like Waygukis in a strange place. So, I don't know, if you're looking to meet foreigners, it's going to be quite easy for you. But if you're looking to meet Korean guys, you're going to have to really kind of put yourself out there and kind of just like give off the aura of I want Korean men. Or women, depending on which side you're on. I think the best way to meet guys, if you're looking to, my battery's low again, if you're looking to meet guys, is just to be out there and just don't be too wild, just be like, you know, talk to them, because I'm sure they won't turn you back. If they start acting funny, just walk away. But you can just go up to them and talk to them, seriously. They get so thrown off, they're like, ah, but then in the end it's okay. So that is my take on dating. We'll do another video later on because I'm here for a long time. I haven't really experienced any obvious dating for obvious reasons, so I can't really give you guys an insight. I hope this was helpful. Comment below if there's anything specific that I missed out that you really wanted to know about, and I'll try and do a video later on. Goodbye everyone.